Well, hey, lead team. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, this email and video has found you productive, healthy, both body and soul. Um, I was reflecting on leading this team today, getting to be a part of advancing the gospel, seeing God's kingdom advance with you guys, and I'm honored. And it's not just lip service; it's a deep honor to do this with you. Um, Over the last couple of days, I've watched some equipping videos, and one of them specifically was on collaboration and just about what does it mean to, with one heart and one mind, um, honor one another, love one another, uh, communicate thoroughly to one another, to see the sum of all of us together. What is produced is more influential than what we could do apart from one another. And so I just want to just say thank you for being patient with me, being patient with this process, being patient with each other by extending grace, by believing the best about each other as we seek to really just try to find synergy and unity going forward in this spirit and hopefully culture of collaboration. And so just thank you so very much. I wanted to send this video for a variety of different reasons. I wanted to update you on some things that I think are important. I want to clarify some deadlines that we have coming up, and then kind of lay out some preparations for next week's lead team meeting lunch. And so, with that being said, I want to kind of update you on a couple things, and I wrote them down here as far as calendar-wise, so that, um, uh, or I wrote them down here so that I didn't forget them. And the first thing is this: in September, what I want to do is I want to move our all staff, so all the adult ministry staff. Second Monday lunch rally. I want to move that to September 25th. So from September 11th to September 25th. Now, I've reached out to a guy by the name of Daniel M., who works with Lifeway Leadership and that team, and he is the director of church multiplication. He's written a book called No Silver Bullets on spiritual formation and discipleship, and reached out to him and purchase a gift for each one of you that I'll give to you that day. But I've also worked it out to where on September 25th, we all are going to video chat with him while we eat our lunch. And really, I think it'll be a great time of him speaking into our team, us asking questions. So please let your team know. We'll send out a calendar invite. Again, Alice has been helping out a little bit when she has time with me with sending out calendar invites here or there. So be looking for that on the horizon. So we're going to move Adult Spiritual Formation whole team rally from September 11th to September 25th. The second thing is this: is last year Lifeway Leadership did a pipeline conference, and I purchased the digital package that has all the video from the main sessions and things, and I've put that on our server. I highly recommend over the next several months you go to our server. It's actually got a booklet that you can download and walk through and watch the videos. Again, this idea of leadership pipeline is something that we're moving towards. Plus, it's just a good way for you as a leader to grow, even if you've been doing this, a long time. And we've got, two guys on our team who've been doing this a long time. But I think the content will be even challenging to all of us, regardless of our tenure, so to speak. And so you just go to the Mac server data, SGF ministry folder, and then there's a folder called Leadership Pipeline, and I've put all the videos in there. Again, there's I think 13 or 14 videos. Again, I'm not expecting you to do it, by next month, but I just think it'd be a great opportunity for you to grow in your leadership and in this kind of shared idea of leader pipeline going forward. So there's that. It's on the server. The third thing is just, again, reminding you guys of next Thursday, our all lead team leadership lunch from 12. It was to 1:15 or so. But I'm gonna do something, because I've noticed in our meetings we've gone longer and longer and longer because we have so many things that we need to discuss. So we're going to go ahead and start calendaring these for 2 hours. The first hour over lunch, and the next hour is going to be, so we're going to have a 2-hour meeting that we're going to do. I know some of you are really excited about that, but I think it'll be profitable as we go forward. And so here's what I want. Coming out of your performance reviews. Now this doesn't necessarily this isn't for Luke and Linda, although I want you to see this content because your reviews were done by Jeff and Kyle respectively. But coming out of those performance reviews, I asked you guys about 3 goals for your ministry, these wildly important goals that if your ministry accomplished these would fundamentally shift the health, the direction, the impact of your ministry area over the next year. And so we talked a little bit in all of our performance reviews about this. And then what I did is I created this document that I gave you guys that you see here on the screen. It's a combination of SMART goals and the Advantage by Phil Lencioni and the Horizon Storyline by Will Mancini and 4 Disciplines of Execution from Covey. And so here's what I want to do. One of the things that I want to see us accomplish things out of the whirlwind, right? If you remember, the 4 Disciplines of Execution talks about how most organizations, if they didn't attain or accomplish any goals, would be as busy as they always are because they're just caught up in the whirlwind of everyday stuff. And for us, it's Sundays coming, Sundays coming, Sundays coming. And so this kind of goal setting conglomeration of all these different kind of leadership principles into what you see in front of you is my attempt to lead us to a place to where on a year-by-year basis we are setting 1 to 3 goals that we in each of our ministry areas are trying to shoot for. These fundamentally wildly important goals that would change our ministry area. And so you see that here in the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3. These are these goals, and here's what I want you to think back from. So you start with these. Anything above the 1, 2, and the 3 really is it's fluid. It's out in the front. The 3 kind of are the background big ideas. These ideas of in 3 years from now, here are some things that we think would be really important for us as a ministry area or us as an adult spiritual formation team. Again, these things can change and be fluid, but anything below for the 1 year and down is very kind of, we need to execute on these things. These are things that we need to plan for and set goals from and carve out time for. And so the 1, the 2, and the 3 really are these wildly important goals. These 3 goals that are SMART, right? That are specific, that are measurable, that are really achievable, that they're relevant to where you're going and they're time bound. That's what SMART goals are. Not just some general like we want to grow leaders. Well, that's not a SMART goal, but these wildly important goals are this couple sentence long, hey, this would fundamentally change our ministry. I want you to put that in the 1, the 2, and the 3. And then here's what I want you to do is I want you to work back through each of these colors right here are really the 90-day kind of quarters, so to speak, of the year. And if you remember when we sat down and we talked, there's difference between what are called lag goals and lead goals. Think about it this way. A lag goal is, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. That's a lag goal. You're only going to see that when the scale says 50 pounds less. But a lead goal is, I'm not going to eat any food past 8 p.m. I'm going to cut my calorie intake down by 700 calories. I'm going to work out 3 days a week for at least 20 minutes long. See, those are lead goals. And so the way that you can look at this is your 3 wildly important goals are probably complex that have a variety of different lag goals within them, that each lag goal has several lead goals within each one of them. Because if you do some of the lead goals, then the lag goals will come to fruition. And if all of these lag goals come to fruition, hopefully the 3 wildly important goals will happen. And so the best way to do that is to lay out what your wildly important goals are, and then work yourself back in each 90-day segment back to the green, which is from September 1st to November 29th, which are our first 90 days. And so it's really kind of almost like a building a pipeline to see these goals come to fruition. And so in each one of in really these 16 lag goals are really, there's freedom for you to go, okay, number one wildly important goal, there's going to need to be 4 of these lag goals that are focused on this. Number 2 is going to take 8, and then the third one is going to take 4. And then you just have to be smart enough to plan out how you want to attain those through the quarters of the year. Because here's what I want us to do is, as we meet in tactical meetings over these 90-day quarters, what I want to do is I don't want to focus on necessarily the administrative stuff. If you can't get the administrative stuff done and I have to micromanage you, then probably you don't need to be in the position of a lead over a ministry, which I don't have any. There's none of you that I look at and go, oh, that's an issue. But I want our tacticals to be focused on these wildly important goals, these lead and lag measures, to make sure that we are focusing on the wildly important, and that we're as we're focusing on the wildly important, we're focusing then on the lead measures on a week, on a week or bi-weekly basis, wherever our tactical meetings are. And then what I want us to do is I've got some ideas of creating compelling scoreboards where it can be an environment of collaboration and accountability. And then ultimately, here's the deal, and I need to grow on this as well. I want us to create a cadence of accountability according to 4 disciplines of execution. I want you guys to know that you're going to be held accountable as I'm going to be held accountable on some things as well. And so that's the sheet that you got right here. I did create a different worksheet. It's just visually it's a little bit different, so don't kind of necessarily freak out here. But these 3 circles right here are your 3 wildly important goals. And then you have your 16 lag with the green, the orange, or the yellow, orange, and red, kind of like this original one right here. You can see the similar here. And then what I've done is that I've made each page with the lead goals for each one of these 4 quarters and these 4 lag goals. And I'm gonna create a document that's just going to be generic. It won't have your ministry area here, but it'll just be blank, and you can use this as a way to plan, write down all the lead goals to accomplish these 4 lag goals in each one of these quarters. And so ultimately what I want us to do is to hopefully have some of this ready for next Thursday as we sit down together, as we bring clarity, as we formulate these plannings, so that next year we look back and go, you know what, I shot for 3 wildly important goals and I got 2 of them. I just don't want us to look back and go, man, I was so busy doing ministry that I really didn't get out of the whirlwind. And so if you have any questions on that between now and next Thursday, come see me. Remember what I said in all of the performance reviews, that next year I want to be able to sit down and ask you a question: that did you in 2017 and 18 work to the point to where Stonegate Fellowship and the ministry area that you lead is less reliant upon you for its health? And so part of this exercise, you may be going, why in the world am I doing that? Well, to that end, this is part of it. And it's just getting out of the whirlwind to focus on things that could fundamentally change our ministries as we look to go forward and help everybody become all they're designed, called, and gifted to be as they experience this transformation through Jesus. And so thanks again, everybody. Deeply care and love you guys. If you're having trouble with this, please come talk to me. I want to help you walk through this. Had a couple of you already do that, and so I'm excited. But please don't wait till next Wednesday afternoon to do this. Please try to get out of the whirlwind and think through this with your teams, with other people, with one another, so that we can get out of the whirlwind and focus on the wildly important, to again, for the kingdom of God. Again, this is not for our reputation or Stonegate's brand or our name. Again, it's the kingdom. It's a bigger vision. And so, if you have any questions, come talk to me. Thanks, guys.